ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to Talking Leeds, episode 32 of this podcast. George, Leeds are bigger than Rangers. Good evening, bearded peacock, Mr. George Brook. My beard is gone, by the way, but how are you, sir?
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night. Any time of day, whatever time you're listening to it. Obviously, we are now in the evening in the UK, England. So So good evening to you, mate. I'm okay, thank you. Buzzing after that Monday night game. Flipping heck, what a game that was, Aaron. And of course, I'm a bit bigger. I haven't had a little trim actually up of my beard also, but it is still there. I thought, something's changed when you just come on about Aaron. Have you lost weight, Aaron? No, it's the beard that's gone. But maybe it's the beard that makes you, maybe it's just slimmed down a little bit.
It was doing my head in. It had to go. With your beard talk here, it just
beards, yes.
Talking beards. The stubble just got too much for me. And last night, I had a couple of beverages, and I thought, sod it, and I just shaved it off.
Of course, by yourself. Of course, you're on half term, Aaron. How's that going for you?
It's
obviously,
it's good. It's nearly over though. The bloody holidays. They come round so quick, and then they go quickly as well. So
you can't stop time, can you? But you can't complain. You've surely had a whole week off. So, it's 10 days or so, isn't it? Including the weekend. So it's not bad at all, really. So yeah, well, good for you. I'm sure there'll be another one around the corner soon, won't there? So
5 weeks. Yeah, 5 weeks.
I'm counting. I'm sure you're counting down the days by the sound of it. But there you go. Enjoy the rest of the holidays. Obviously, you did enjoy the Monday evening game. That's why I know you don't go to ones in term time at the midweek games. But thankfully for you, this one was a half-term one. And what a way, Aaron, it was to get through that game and increase our lead at the top of the table. Fabulous scenes.
Oh, George, honest to God, that was up there for me with trying to compare the atmosphere and the sheer relief when the winner went in. Is up there with the Gelhardt kind of goal from Rafinha to kind of keep us up in the Premier League. He was up there with Leicester last season, but I do think it was really, really special. When Jerry said it as well, when we did the match reaction, I think you listened in on that one as well.
Yes, I was there. I was there in the comments with you, Aaron, for a short time.
I did see you, which was
yes,
good to see you.
I was listening to both of you.
It was brilliant, honest to God. The atmosphere at the end was just, honest to God, George, I can tell you, I turned around when I just looked around, I saw feet in the air in the Kop. It was brilliant, and like what Carl said, Pascal had his moment in that game. And do you know, Carl, I think they all did. And fair play, because Mr. Brook here is Daniel Farke. Are you still Daniel Farke out, George?
Look, you know my stance on it, Aaron. It doesn't change from week to week. I know that it might seem... No, I'm not. Look, I'm not actively saying Farke out, standing with pickets, outside Elland Road. But look, I'm inwardly saying, yeah, look, I have the feeling, Aaron, that Farke will get us to the Premier League. I think he will, but I just have the feeling it's inevitable that we won't go any further than bottom table fodder, relegation fodder, if we don't have a big change at some point in the near future after we get to the Premier League. I know that he'll be given the chance. He should be given the opportunity, but I just don't see how far Farke can really take this team once we get into the Premier League. That doesn't say that I'm like I said, I'm not out. Farke out. Get out, Daniel, and go. No, I'm definitely not that. I'm just saying that I just don't think that he can take the team any further than the Premier League itself.
First of all, I want to say Daniel absolutely got his substitutions right on Monday. I was crying out for this. I was saying this to Steve and my brother who was there. The missing piece of the jigsaw was Rothwell for me. We really missed that kind of dynamic approach in the midfield area, and we were really slacking, I feel, in the midfield area. And Rothwell coming on, obviously Strout got both the goals. It was what we needed. And Sunderland, I'm going to say this now, George, and I know you didn't like it when I said this to you on our WhatsApp group after the game. Sunderland, for me, were one of the best teams I've seen play at Elland Road, and I'm giving them credit there because you need to give credit where credit's due. They came with a game plan. It worked for 95 minutes, and they, it worked, for them. And with the had done by, who cares? Doesn't matter because we got the 3 points. We needed that, but Farke got it right. He really did, and we've got to give him credit for that. Yes, he's got a touchline ban. Yes, he's got a yellow. I've heard Neil Warnock complaining about it. He doesn't. Referees don't understand what managers go through, and they've never played the game. It's just a shame that for Monday night against Sheffield United that it's not on the touchline. But I don't know. He did really well, George. I can't fault him. I really can't.
Well, at the end of it, he takes the yellow, doesn't he? He had to. I don't know why he was giving it personally.
Celebrating because he went onto the pitch. Yeah, he went onto.
Come on! I mean, come on! It was great to see that emotion from him, and
it doesn't give. It's not an emotional guy.
Well, this is what he was saying afterwards, wasn't he? He was saying, "I don't usually show it, but he had to." It was such an emotive moment where Pascal heads it in. How can you not go bonkers? And I think the referee needs a bit of a telling off for that, really. And
if you want, can I give you a quick fact? The fourth official or whoever it is, one of the officials, has given Farke all 3 yellow cards this season, which is enforced.
Right, I didn't even know he'd had it. That's how little I'm looking at those sort of facts. I didn't even know he'd had any. To be fair,
but it's the same official who's given. Yeah, it's the same official who's given.
So he's obviously got something against him for that. For me, you just say, "Hey, look, it was one of them moments where," and I'm sure, to be honest with you, he won't regret that. He'll sit in the stands at Bramall Lane and he'll be able to be in touch with the assistants. It won't make that much of a difference, I don't think. We're still at a high level. We perform at a high level in that game anyway, so it doesn't matter too much about that. I'm sure he'll take it and he'll have enjoyed it. It looked like he did anyway. Obviously, he went bonkers with the lads on the pitch. There's that shot of Gulavogi picking him up. He's going like that on the floor, and it was just great to watch that emotion come out of him. Because all right, I don't feel like he will take us further than the Premier League. I know Carl has said the point about him, what he can do with 150 million. Let's wait and see. But also, I like the guy. I like the man. I think he's great, but I just don't feel like as a manager he will take us further where we need to go.
But like what Carl said there, he makes a great point. Personally doesn't think he'll take us where we want to get to based on past Premier League experiences, but he never had money. It'd be interesting to see what he can do with it. Yeah. And that, I'm a big believer, George, and I know this is where we kind of differ here and difference of opinions, but he's earned the right to give it a go. You can't deny him that. See how it goes after 10 games, 15 maybe. Give him the cash. Let him have a go because he will deserve it. He will deserve a crack at it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not saying he doesn't. I fully think that he will, and I accept that, and I promote that. I feel like that's the right thing to do. And like Carl, I would love for him to prove me wrong also, but I just see like him, I do see us parting ways with him next season at some stage. And, you know, we want to get to further our progression as a club. Farke, he will get us up. I'm sure he will be given an opportunity of sorts in the Premier League. I mean, if it's going really well, he'll be given all sorts of opportunities. So, and hopefully that'll be the case. But you know what I mean? I'm not against him because I want Leeds United to do well. And, you know, I want Leeds to be up there with likes of Forest and Villa doing well and progressing. And if Farke's the man, then he's in charge of winning games of football. That's fine by me because I like the guy. I think he sounds like a laugh. He sounds like a good man. And he seems like a good man. And he's obviously doing well for our team. So why would I not like him? I just think from a purely footballing point of view, I just feel like he's probably not the man to take us where we want to be. But that doesn't mean any way that I'm against him. You know, I love him because he's part of our club and he's doing well for us, and he's clearly heavily invested. Hence the reaction on Monday night where the ball goes in and he was every fan in the ground as well, going bonkers with the fans. So it was great to see. It was
the scenes after that as well, George. I have to say, we're up there with the best.
Yeah, I mean, it has to, from me, watch it on the telly, it did remind me of that Leicester game. I've said it to a few people. It did remind me of that Leicester game last season where it felt like such a big moment. Obviously, it didn't mean anything in the end. But I think, like Jerry pointed out, I think he made the point as well that on Tuesday is with you, Arron, is like it didn't mean anything at the time. It meant a lot at the time, but ultimately it didn't. And it felt more this time because we're now clear at the top, like 7 points clear. So it might mean that bit more for Leeds. And like I said, the relief, the pure emotion of that goal when it went in, because I don't know what it was like in the stands, Arron, but it felt from me watching it on the telly like we were never going to score a goal. And Farke can take all the plaudits, mate, for making those subs, Strauch and Rothwell. But realistically, it was like it's 1 in a million chance that comes off.
What you got to give him credit for, George, is that he saw something which wasn't working.
He did, yeah.
And that is what a good coach, good manager does. They see what's not working. And they've got the Arsenal on the bench, and they can go for it. And that, for me, is weight in gold.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I completely agree. I think it was, it's a mark of a good coach. He did clearly spot it. He did say afterwards, and I don't think it was, in a way, it was a little bit more luck than judgment. In a way, it was a good decision. Because let's be honest, Arron, Elland Road and Ayo Tanaka were absolutely shit on Monday. They couldn't. They were awful. Elland Road, right from the first minute, he slipped over when Jude Bellingham had the opportunity. Right from there, it just didn't seem right. Ayo Tanaka couldn't fight, he just couldn't hit, what's the phrase, Arron? He just couldn't do anything right. He was hitting balls that were going all over the place. He just seemed like he was like the epitome of the whole team in the first sort of 70 minutes. He was trying way too hard, and it wasn't coming off. All the team were like that, but he just epitomised that whole 11 for me for the first 71 minutes until Strauch and Mr. Rothwell came on. It felt very much like they were just trying too hard for me, and just relax and play your own game. And Ayo just seemed like he was really, really struggling with that. And Gruev as well. Gruev is poor, really, for me, Arron.
It depends. If we're more defensive, he'll do a shift, but it doesn't matter. As I said, we've got the job done, and that's the key thing. When we look back on this come May, we'll be thinking, oh, bloody hell, that Sunderland game, is that going to be the one? Not going to be the one which matters that much. It gives us a really good stance in the league. gets a real good cushion now over third place. But I do think Sunderland, though, now are going to have to settle for the playoffs. I don't think they're going to catch us or Sheffield United or Burnley to an extent. I think it's become a three-horse race now between those three. And Leeds are in a great position. And remember, George, I say this every week, there's only one team which will hurt Leeds United this season, and that is Leeds United. They will be the only ones who fuck the season, pretty much.
It basically is. It basically is, because we're so clear now. 7 points is a good lead with 13 games to go, mate. And like you said, week by week, the weeks keep ticking off, and Leeds United keep getting results. And we're unbeaten now in 15 league games now. And I don't remember the last time that happened. Maybe it did happen. Maybe last season. I don't know. But we did go on a long period of unbeaten games. I think we won like 8 or 9 in a row at one point.
Yeah.
So, we're on good stead, and we're doing well. It was a really good. It was a
the
really
togetherness of the squad is there as well, George.
It's unbelievable, It's unbelievable. You can see the boys are just together. They want this. They went through the pain of last season. They don't want that again. And it just seems now they know they're the best team in the league, and they're showing it. And they're together. Nobody's grumbling if they're not playing. Like Willie Nonto was a lot made of him not even coming on the pitch, and the way he was celebrating the win just shows again that he's not bothered if he's not playing so much. Obviously, he would have liked to play, but if he didn't, he's so happy that we've just won the game. And how could you not? If you were a player on the bench, you didn't get on, Aaron, you would still be joining in the celebrations of that 95th minute winner. Of course you would. You'd be getting whipped up in the atmosphere of it all with his fans, the excitement, the crap, the noise. I predict a riot, everything. You would just be whipped up in the whole thing. So, fair play to the boys. They're all together. You see it on social media after the game. They're all laughing and joking, in each other's comments and having a laugh and, enjoying it. There was that picture of, it was great. Some great pictures coming out from that game as well, Aaron. There's a picture of Joe Rodon just on the floor after that winner goes in, and you think, what's he doing on the floor there? And he said, "Oh, I'm having a rest," and all this kind of thing. But he was just there on the floor, and Pascal and Joel are just running off. He's with his tongue out and having a laugh and a joke, and it's just good to see so much camaraderie going on with the lads. But why wouldn't there be? You're top of the league, you're flying at the moment. They're bouncing into each game, and they're just together. I always saw it as well. I saw it as well. Aaron, Ramazani and Willie Nonto seem to have a thing together, don't they? And I don't know if you know the Kendrick Lamar song. I'm sure you do, Aaron. I don't think it's quite your bag, is it? Really, potentially, but Not Like Us was a big viral tune. They do seem to be playing on this quite a lot. That's Willie Nonto, Ramazani. I think I heard Isaac Schmidt say it in that little video after Watford as well. It does seem a little thing between the squad. That's a very popular song. But I did notice Ramazani on social media again, a little post of him kind of squaring up to a couple of Sunderland players after the game with the Sunderland players on the floor, and that song is playing on the little video. So they're obviously, it's something that they're coining together. They're obviously together having a good time. Ramazani's still one that can't get in the team, but again, he seems very much part of it and wants to be there. It's regardless of how many minutes he plays. So the squad is very together, and it's great to see them sticking it into teams as well. I think we've been a little bit too nice at times in the past, Aaron. It's good to see them being a little bit like, yeah, fuck you, we've won the game and we're going to rub it in your face kind of thing. Because it's a game of football, you know what I mean? And I think they got a little bit tetchy. They were throwing the dummies out the pram a little bit, weren't they, at the end, which was quite funny to watch. Really, because I don't know what they're complaining about, really. Because as much as you give Sunderland credit, and like I said, when you said that, it was like, well, they don't have to beat much, do they? Really, there are a lot of teams that come down.
They are, but they remind me, George. They remind me a lot of Bielsa's first year to that Sunderland team. They're just not quite there yet. But I do think if they stick with their manager, they invest in a couple of quality players, I think they could be up there next year. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll win the playoffs. I think Burnley will probably win the playoffs. But yeah, fair play to them, and they're good away fans as well, by the way.
Oh,
It's like what Carl says,
is unmatched.
which is good.
We are
George,
now, yeah.
yeah, I just want to touch on a couple of news items which have come out on social media and the various different news outlets today. The San Francisco 49ers and Parag Marath has been linked with a consortium to buy Rangers up in Scotland. George, what are your thoughts on this one? Because I've had a look on social media, I've read some of the comments and things, and people are going a little bit crazy. Talk Shite radio station have also been saying they've been winding up Rangers fans, saying that Rangers could be a feeder club for Leeds United. The only question that's on my mind, George, whether it's been linked with Rangers or not, is Ryan Kent still there? And could he come down to us from Rangers if we somehow own part of them?
No, I don't think he's not there now. I think he's a free agent actually now. Which I think he went to Fenerbahce, didn't it? It didn't quite work out. I think he is a free agent now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, of course it is. We're consistently linked with him. I understand.
But now we're buying Rangers.
Yeah, look. Well, I mean, if he's not, we're not. He is. But and all of them have, the business owners. They want to invest. They want more money and invest and become bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think, yeah, well, it doesn't mean anything to me, to be quite honest with you, Aaron.
A lot of fans on social media are saying, why aren't they investing in Leeds? Why aren't they doing this? Why are they doing that? Rangers are probably one of the biggest clubs in Scotland.
Yeah, look, it's a big deal. It's one of the biggest teams in Scotland. Not that there are many big teams in Scotland. Sorry to anybody in Scotland or whatever, but there is a fact. There are not. There's, from an onlooking point of view, there's Celtic and Rangers, isn't there?
That's it.
So you're going to look at Rangers or Celtic. Rangers, fine. So they're looking at buying it. It's obviously a viable business opportunity for them, and they've done the due diligence. It's a Champions League club, isn't it? It gets in Champions League or at least Europa League and European competition regularly. So why not go and buy them? And I don't think it'll make a difference to Leeds. I don't know why fans get so uptight.
A lot of fans are saying, Leeds can make so much money commercially. In terms of some fan. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll read it from my Twitter, saying, does this mean now that the stadium redevelopment will not go ahead because the San Francisco 49ers are investing all their money in Rangers? Are we as a club paying for Rangers? I don't think that's the case, if I'm being honest. I'm only reading what some fans have put on, freedom of speech and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. It's one of those, George, for me. I'm not bothered if really the San Francisco 49ers can buy who they want to buy. I'm not bothered. They can do what they want.
I'm in the same vein as you, and I don't really care, to be quite honest. Look, they own the 49ers and stuff, and people making up noise that they're putting, more money into the 49ers than Leeds. Probably not. So they're a sports company. They see a viable option. They're gonna go and try and make money off it. That's what business is. So I don't really care. Like Carl says, 49ers are minted. It wouldn't affect stadium at all. It wouldn't affect Leeds at all.
I know. I'm only repeating what some fans have said on X.
Yeah, I know, of course, but I don't understand their outcry from fans like they've got no money now. Like you say, like Carl says, they're minted. They've got a lot of money. 49ers is a massive franchise in America, and it won't matter a jot. It might even help us that they've got Rangers. I don't know. It might mean that they're making more money for Leeds or something. They've got money. They can invest it, and they will invest it when we get to the Premier League. It doesn't matter either way, whether they've got Rangers, whether they haven't got Rangers. The owners of us. The other point of it is, Aaron, would it be like, are they going to focus on Rangers and eventually bin Leeds off and send it, and a Red Bull then going to take on Leeds? That would be my initial thinking straight away, would be, are they segueing it into a full takeover of Rangers and then lead the way for Red Bull to then go and buy Leeds outright? I don't know, but that's only an idea. But I really don't care, to be quite honest. Leeds are in good hands. It's not like we're in the sort of Ken Bates or Salino era, sorry, where it's a bit shit and everything's shit, even the shit on the pitch. We're in a stable situation. They're putting money into the squad. We're in a great position in the league on the pitch. And if I'm being completely honest with you, all the way through my supporting of Leeds United, Aaron, I don't really care about the investment or who's in it. As long as it's in a stable position, I don't really care that much. We're getting, results on the pitch. So that's what ultimately I care about, the football on the pitch. As long as we keep playing football, as long as it's not going to go into the realms of liquidation, then we're okay. 49ers is a massive company. It's a massive franchise.
Yeah, okay, great. I want to touch as well on Angus Kinnear has been linked with a move away from Leeds United as well.
Good.
He's been linked with Everton, going over there and doing some managerial stuff, whatever he does over there. What are your thoughts on Kinnear possibly leaving Leeds, George? Do you think that's a good thing, or you're not bothered?
Again, I'm not overly bothered. I remember when we went Elland Road and we were waving at him and doing the Leeds salute and everything, and he was responding. And obviously you would have seen him around Elland Road, and people still posing for photos with him and things like this. So I think it's time for Kinnear to go. That's not only from a point of I hate him and he's done such and such for Leeds, but I just think that it's a new era of Leeds United coming through, and he is again. Things just need to move on, and it says a bit that he's going to Everton, because Everton are on a bit of an upward curve now. Moyes coming in, new stadium next season, all this kind of stuff. So that would be a massive move for him personally. So who knows what's happening, but for me, again, I always like to focus more on what's happening on the pitch. Really, it doesn't. I think he's sort of Ramazan. He's a sort of he's a Andrea Ranazzani and Victor Orta kind of era. So for
he was, but I do think you've got to give him a little bit of due here, because he steadied the ship. Obviously, he oversaw the takeover, hung around. I think it would make sense for him to move on now, because he's done what he needed to do. And I do think if he stays, he stays. It's fine. I think he's got a good voice when you listen to the Square Ball and stuff like that. He does a lot of good stuff with those, and he does give an insight into them. And I do think when you listen to him, he speaks really well. But yeah, do you know what? I think if he goes, fair play. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, or anything like that. But yeah, and like what Carl says, so let's hope he takes Harrison permanently with him if he goes, and maybe Bamford. I don't think Patrick Bamford would go to Everton. How dare you suggest him going there? He would probably go to Wrexham.
Well, I have no idea where Bamford will go, but Bamford's a waste of time, and hopefully will go at the end of the season. But and Harrison, obviously Harrison won't be welcome back. But also there is a point, Aaron, if we do get promoted, I know a lot of fans won't like it, but what if he does come back into the team and he does okay? He's had a stinker at Everton this season.
Jack Harrison, George, if you look at what we've got, other than Solomon, who I think Leeds should make a case of going and signing permanent.
Solomon needs to sign permanently for me if we go up,
Carl says they've got a new ground.
Exactly. He needs to get in there and see what it's like.
But Jack Harrison, would he get in that squad? Dan James, let's say we do sign Solomon on a permanent deal. Ramazani will be still there. Nonto will still be there. Where would he go? Where would he play? I don't think he can.
Well,
play.
Yeah.
Left back?
I think that the point is, Aaron, we need reinforcement. And I think that, I don't know. I still think Harrison, from a purely footballing point of view, I think Harrison would affect the team quite nicely, actually. I don't know whether he would have a starting position. He'd probably be a squad player, wouldn't he? But at some stage, maybe he will. I expect he will probably be sold anyway in the summer. I don't think Everton will want him, actually, but maybe somebody will. But he will come back to Leeds. And again, will Fark, be given the opportunity for him to have a look at him, because he hasn't had a proper look at Harrison since he came in. He's been on loan at Everton. This is the second time he's been out on loan, so he won't have had a proper look at him. So if he comes back in, obviously you've got DJ, you've got Solomon, which I hope we do sign Manor on a permanent if we go up. Ramazani, obviously, like I said, Nonto, they'll all still be knocking about. But, like I said, we need probably better quality than Nonto and Ramazani if we're going to be completely honest about it. And as much as the fans won't want to hear it, Harrison is probably a level above the likes of Nonto and probably Ramazani. So, if you're looking at wanting to improve the squad, regardless of the histrionics and everything that's gone on with him, I think he improves the squad, actually, to be quite honest.
Interesting. Well, to be seen with that one. Okay.
He might be fifth choice, yes, but, I love Manor Solomon. I think everybody does. And I think, Manor Solomon has really, really impressed me and improved since he first came in at the start of the season. And I would love to see him here on a permanent basis next time.
Okay, George, it's time for this. Okay, it's time for Tanaka time. What's caught your eye this week, George?
Well, like I mentioned, certainly not AO himself. He had a stinking game on Monday, but, we still love him, of course we do. He's we can't look past Monday evening, Aaron. You cannot look past it. We want to celebrate the win still. We're still buzzing, and we're not playing till Monday. We've got a whole week to kind of enjoy this kind of late drama. And I think, come Tuesday, yesterday, I was still buzzing off that result. I'm sure a lot of people watching, and Carl himself, who's commenting in, was as well, and still is also. So I want to look back on Monday. There was something that caught my eye initially. There was a lot of things, but one thing in particular that I will go with is, and it does create a discussion also, one particular fan, Arron, obviously social media is a big thing. One fan took to social media after the game. He was in the crowd. I don't know of his name, but I think he injured his elbow or he fractured his arm or something like this. And he said, I hope Pascal can have an invoice now. Pascal somehow, I don't know, he saw it. And he said, what can we do, mate, to sort this out? Which was good of him. But what could he do? I mean, I don't know what you can do. He's already damaged himself. What's he gonna do?
Was he the guy? I don't know if you've seen the video of the guy who was crawling along.
Yes, I do not know. It might have been him. I don't know, but ultimately, it's only himself to blame. If you're climbing up rafts on a shed, basically, you're gonna injure yourself. It's your own fault. I mean, I don't know how he managed to get up there, but I think Joe said on the match reaction, maybe it was just the pure adrenaline of the goal that kind of just brought him up to sort of elevate him. Spider-Man powers somehow just activated in his body. But it was quite amazing, to be fair. And I think it made, again, like these things do, makes viral to all sorts of different bigger social media accounts. So fair play, but I don't know if it was him, Aaron. But what I want to know is, obviously you mentioned when you look back after the goal and all the feet in the air and all sorts, people will have come away with bumps and bruises and all sorts from that night, I'm sure.
Honest to God, George, honest to God, the cop where I sit is loud most of the time,
Yeah, of course.
To see those celebrations where there's just feet, honest to God, I wish I took a picture, but I didn't want to take a picture and get my phone out and film it because you want to enjoy that moment. But you literally saw Steve, 75-year-old man, Steve, literally on the chairs, on the bloody safe standing barriers, cheering. Everybody was just absolutely loving it. And that those, and feet in the air, and just honest to God, it's just incredible. That feeling is brilliant. There's no other feeling in the world.
It was. I mean, it's amazing being in the ground and scoring and the whole emotion and all the adrenaline.
As well, the top end as well, both of them.
It was at your end, was it, Aaron? Yeah, of course. So to be right in front of it and watch it, and for me watching on the telly, you knew exactly it was in. And Rothwell said himself, Pascal just made sure, but I think it would have gone in. It would have dropped in the goal. He would have scored that goal. The goalkeeper completely misjudged the ball, and Pascal was just there behind him to nod it in and make sure, really. But I think that the point of what I'm saying is, the Tanaka time really is have you yourself, how you mentioned the feet in the air, the whole thing, the whole emotion, the excitement of it all. Have you come away with any injuries yourself, or anybody in the comments? What have you come away with any injuries, severe or just minor, from celebrating the goal at Elland Road itself, or the way end?
No, maybe a few bruises, just from celebrating from chairs. I won't say I've, broken a limb or anything like that. I know some fans who have, done some serious damage, but no, I've never, done that. But I've a couple of bruises and things like that. But because the problem is, you're always stood in the cop, and they've got the safe standing now where I sit and
you
might get the old back. I'm getting an old man, George. It's just that really. I wouldn't say anything major or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, because it looked. Yeah, I mean, look, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like it's just like, to me, watching the game, it almost was like it was building up. You could feel.
You could sense it. Yeah, you could sense it was coming.
Obviously, in the ground, people are getting excited. People are whipping them, almost willing the ball, sucking the ball into the net. And it eventually happened. It was amazing. But we could all feel it. But it's just that kind of atmosphere. Like just people are just getting really excited and ready to fucking burst. And that's just like a busy bottle just ready to burst when you get the top of it, and he's shaking it up. And I think that was the thing. It was just a pure emotion.
It's because I think what helped the atmosphere as well, because we knew it was a big game. We knew this mattered. This game mattered.
This was it.
It would really give us 7-point gaps and 10 points over Sunderland. It's all that, and it was a massive result.
No, it was huge. It was huge.
I think it was one of the highest crowds of the season.
Yeah, it will have been.
Yeah, and it was just, I think if we can maintain that level at Elland Road now for the rest of the season, I think we will really, really, kick on and get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think again, under the lights. Again, we mentioned it last week, but. There's something different about Elland Road at night time. And, again, the Leicester game that, Carl mentioned, further up, I didn't know, Carl, obviously, why would I? But obviously you're from Leicester by the sound of it. And obviously that game would have meant a lot to you. And that game was in the night time. It was a Friday night, wasn't it? That one. Yeah. Obviously this one Monday night. There's just something about Elland Road and that special kind of moment when the ball just goes in and the guys just go mental, and it's great to just watch and just I mean it just meant so much, like you said, because we knew such a big game, such a blow to Sunderland, really, because if they'd have won that game, then I felt we can catch them. We've just gone to their place and won. Only one team had done that the whole season, so would have been I think psychologically for them a massive plus. Obviously it turned out to be a massive negative and a massive plus for us, given that I feel like we're nearly there, Aaron, to be quite honest. I keep saying if we get through the 1st of March and the West Brom game at Elland Road, if we get through that game and we're still in the top two, having got a positive result against Sheffield United on Monday, I think
we will be. Even if we lose to them and Sheffield United, we will still be in the top two.
Well, what I mean is, I guess that if we get points from these games, not if we're in the top two, but basically we've lost those two games, we're still in the top two. No, if we've won both, great. If we've drawn and won, I think if we go unbeaten in these next couple of games, particularly if we win both, I think we're up. I think it's done. Basically, because I think we'll just cruise through the rest of the season, the remaining 11 games. I think, particularly Elland Road, the home games, I just feel now, particularly with that late winner, like Carl said, 7 more wins. To me, that just seems like child's play at this point. because they're so far ahead of any other team. You said they were the best team that came to Elland Road. Now, I don't want to wax lyrical about Sunderland because who gives a fuck about that, right? So, the whole team, the teams that come to Elland Road, mate, and you're saying they were the best team. Really, they were shite. Let's be quite honest about it. In terms of they're coming to Elland Road and they're playing like that. You saw a lot of, I'm not saying the shit team. No, I'm just saying.
I've seen some real tripe at Elland Road. I really have, George. Throughout the course of this season and last, by the way.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing here is, let me finish. You started, so I'll finish. Sunderland were a good team. They made it difficult for us. And I'm not a Sunderland fan. I'm not associated with them. I'm just saying what I feel from that game. They were one of the best teams, one of the better teams I have seen because they came and had a go. I've seen some real tripe at Elland Road, Josh. Sheffield United, even when they came, they were awful. And I was thinking these will never finish in the top two, but for some reason they're still in the top two. Plymouth, awful. QPR, awful. Coventry, awful. I could go on. 99% of the teams in this league are awful. They are because that's the Gulfing class, which we are above them. We are the better team in the division. But you've got to look at it. Like when we get into the Premier League, we will be one of the worst teams in the Premier League.
Well, yeah.
Because we will be. And we'll be getting hammered 7-0. We might win 7-0 in the Championship, but we'll bloody lose 7-0 against Liverpool, Man City, and the rest. And that's life. Yeah, and that's what will happen. But,
potentially. I don't think we'll get pumped 7-0, but I think I take the point.
I think this year ain't nowhere near the quality of last year.
It's completely correct. Yeah, it's correct.
The three which went up last year, they were the three. You can look at the three in the Premier League now, which went up in Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton. All three are awful. And I do think it is a bit of a blessing that we didn't go up because we've regrouped, we've rebuilt. Our team is more balanced, I think, compared to last year. And I think, you can easily. I saw a post on there saying if we do go, what do we need? I still think we need a left back. I think we still need another centre. We're going to need Premier League proven quality.
Yeah, we will. We will need it. We'll need a big overhaul in the summer.
Regardless of the division.
It will. It will.
The Championship will still need proven Championship.
Well, let's be honest.
I don't think we don't go up.
Let's be honest. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Leeds will be going up.
Can I give you my Tanaka time, George?
Yes, of course.
Because my Tanaka time, I don't know if you saw this on the Sky pictures, was Ilham Melier. His celebrations during the Sunderland games. I've gone for a Leeds Tanaka time. He really caught my eye because you literally saw all the players at the Copy going absolutely mental. And then you saw Ilham Melier literally sprinting around the sound stand. He was then sprinting up to the halfway line, giving jip to the Sunderland fans, going all that. And it was just brilliant. I think he was having his own little moment with Ilham Melier. And fair play to him because he was under a lot of stick this season so far. And I don't know, fair play to him for doing that. I show it. I don't know if they did. It's really hard to explain because he was literally just running around. It was like that, literally south side.
I didn't see any like footage of it, but I saw pictures of him, cupping his ears to the away fan. And I'm all for this because they were giving him so much shit in the game, and probably from the minute he made that mistake in October was like hammering completely. And fair play to Melier, who hasn't let in that many goals since that moment, really, to be fair. It can only be, it's single figures, isn't it? I would have said probably. So, it's fair play to him. Obviously, first goal he conceded all year. all calendar year. So fair play, enjoy it, mate. And I'm glad he in the euphoria of that moment, and everything's going mad. I'm glad in his mind he remembered that they're over there and they've been giving me shit since October. I'm the whole night tonight, so I'm going to give it to them. And I love that for him as well, because that would have been such a nice moment in his mind and such a relief. And I'm sure I'd be the exact same. I'd be giving it and I'd be shushing them and all sorts, because why not? It's football, and the emotion of it just gets to you. And obviously, why not enjoy it and enjoy them giving him all sorts of verbal back, because they would have done as well. And why not? That's what football's about. That's what it gives you. It just does something to you, does football. It really does. And that's obviously fair play to him. I'm glad he remembered that in the whole, like I said, in the whole euphoria of that moment. Everybody's going bonkers. The stadium's basically just blown up in the air and shot off into space, and he's there remembering. Oh yeah, let's just give it to them, because and fair play to him as well. He made a really good double save right in the first minutes as well. Like I said, he grew on his arse, and he really brought us out of a sticky moment. Because I thought he'd scored, to be honest. Watching it on the telly, I thought he'd scored. And I think Meslier, he's got a stick, but remember that, he's made some really good saves in this season as well. Look at that game at Coventry a few weeks ago, where if that goes in, it's 2-1 and it's squeaky bum time early in the second half. He really clawed it out the goal, basically. And he makes some really good saves, and we dig him out. Yeah, with fair play, because he was shit in that moment. I know it took a deflection, but you've got to keep your eye on the ball, and you put your body behind it. We would have won that game at the Stadium of Light, but he's come back and done well. And enjoy your moment, and and all sorts. So I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he did that.
Good stuff. Okay, there you go. Alrighty then. So Tanaka time for this week. I've got a quiz as well for you, George. Should we do that now? We might as well do this back to back. Okay,
why
it's
not?
time for this. Trivia challenge time then, George. George, please cover up the comment section from your screen, please, so you can't see them. And I've got you a Leeds United Rangers quiz. So I've dug deep into the world of ChatGPT, and I have I've asked ChatGPT to create a 5-question quiz for us on Leeds United and Rangers over the years.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I had a bit of a disagreement with ChatGPT. I'll tell you this one. So I was doing it popped it all in, and it said that Leeds United manager also had a successful spell managing Rangers FC. It was trying to tell me that Graham Souness used to manage Leeds United. And I thought, no, that's incorrect. So I told ChatGPT, that's wrong, pal. And they kept saying, oh, yes, you are right. It didn't happen. So I am fact-checking these quiz questions for us.
See, it's AI. It's not going to be perfect. And you've demonstrated what might happen in the future round of disagreements with robots and things like this.
Well, they agreed with me. They agreed
it did
with
eventually,
me.
but it got it wrong, didn't it? Eventually.
Well, got it wrong,
yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I'm not sure. I've heard a lot about this ChatGPT. I'm not so sure.
It's also got another one wrong, but
it's AI. It's never going to be completely correct. And
no, it's never is.
It's
never is. Never.
It's changed.
Anyway, I need to find my book. You remember the book when I had the book with all the quiz questions in. I need to find that out. Anyway, right. Okay, are you ready, George, for question number 1?
Yes.
Okay, question number 1 of your Leeds United and Rangers quiz this week. In which year did Leeds United and Rangers face each other in the Champions League? I don't think it was called the Champions League at that time. But it's
1988. I don't know.
1988. No, according to ChatGPT, it was 1992.
But did you fact check that, because it could be wrong?
Carl's got it right. Anyway, next one is which player scored for Rangers in both legs of their clash against Leeds United? Which Rangers player? Famous pundit.
Ali McCoist.
Ali McCoist is correct. I think Ali McCoist is one of the better pundits.
He's fabulous. I love Ali McCoist. Yeah. Every single game that he's on, I will stay and watch because I like the way he comments on football. It's and also it's been a nostalgia for me and probably for you, Aaron, because I know he was on. If you played the early FIFA games, he was on the co-commentaries on FIFA as well. So I think it's partly that in my mind as well.
Yeah. Okay. Which of these players has played for both Leeds United and Rangers? Is it Barry Ferguson, Lee Bowyer, Mark Viduka, or Ross McCormack?
McCormack.
Ross McCormack is the correct answer. Well done. And that is the one because those are the only 4 questions which I've got for you this week, I'm afraid, because ChatGPT was trying to tell me that Graham Souness was a manager.
Well, I'll give you one off the top of my head.
And the other one. This was the other one. It says, which former Rangers manager later had a spell in charge of Leeds United? It was trying to tell me that Walter Smith had
again, no, he didn't. But, you know,
I just want to touch on this panel says there, before you give me your quiz, I was there for that one. Might have been 92, stood in the East Stand and was celebrated right in front of where I was standing. So there you go. Because Carl was
there you go. I mean, there can't be too many links between Leeds and Rangers, really. But, you know, one that I had for you, Aaron, potentially off the back of that, it's another sort of, he played for both.
Hang on, I'll cover it up. There we go.
He played for kind of both. Is the final question for me, and Carl, if he wants to, I don't know anybody else watching. How many other people are watching, Aaron?
We'll carry on.
That says probably Carl himself. Is
it's not about that because let's give out a shout out to all the people who download our podcast. Yes. George, we've got up to 4,000 downloads a week now.
Yes.
A week, 4,000 people download this show every week on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all that sort of stuff. So thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
It doesn't matter about doing it on YouTube. This is just a platform for us to record. And to interact with all the fans, Jimbo and the lot, and Carl. So, thank you. So that Carl, you will get, if you download our podcast, Carl, you will probably hear a shout out. Go on then. What's your question, George?
Yeah, so basically, it's a simple one, Aaron. It is who he played for both. Now he played for both. It is a man who played for Leeds under, I think, probably Brian McDermott. Very controversial man. He played for Rangers. Also played for many English sides, as well as obviously Leeds. I won't give it away because it would give it away. So I would like you to have a think about that. But if I gave the other... Actually, Carl, it isn't Roof, but Roof did also play for both. This man very controversial.
El Hadj Diouf?
Yes, El Hadj Diouf. Played for Rangers.
Was it Warnock?
Was it? Well, yes, it was Warnock. But I think he did play for... No, he didn't play for McDermott as well. Maybe, I don't know. But he definitely played for Warnock, didn't he?
El Hadj Diouf, yeah, he was.
What a crazy character he was. But Roof did play as well for Rangers also, didn't he? Did well for Rangers, didn't he, before he went to Anderlecht. I think he was managed under Vincent Kompany, was Kemar Roof in Anderlecht. So, strange move. Still a free agent is Kemar. I don't know why. But there you go. Struggle with injuries a lot, hasn't he? So, but El Hadj Diouf. Just quickly, your thoughts on El Hadj Diouf, Aaron? Do you agree with Neil Warnock in what he said?
What did he say?
Well, we know what he said. Carl knows, I think, as well.
What? What did he say?
He likened him to a sewer rat, didn't he? He said he's a sewer rat, and he went and signed him.
Yeah.
He's gone to Derby as Kemar Roof. That's a good signing.
I'll say. That's impressive.
I don't know. That's what Carl said.
Right.
That's
okay.
a good signing.
I will fact check that with Google. Derby County, and
Because he's a free agent, he can sign at any time.
yeah. Kemar Roof. Let's have a look. He's gone. He's BBC reported. Yeah, Derby have signed Leeds. Fair play to him. Good lad. Good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck to him. He can't be that old, can he, Kemar? I bet he's in his late. 32. Oh, he's 32 now, right? Okay.
Oh, can you remember? Didn't he score in the playoff?
Yeah, he did against Derby. Yeah, he did in the first leg.
Yeah, the first leg.
Yeah, he did. Gosh, yeah, of course he played under Bielsa. You know, you forget about that. Really, he was. To be fair, he was probably better than bloody Bamford, isn't he? I reckon he probably still is actually better than Bamford. Should be Bamford onto Derby. Bloody hell, get him onto Derby.
Right,
we can have Roof back. But no, El Hadj Diouf, yes.
Yeah, useless. Didn't really show it. Didn't do very well. Anyway, that's your end of this week's trivia chat. Trivia challenge done for this week. George, we have a massive, bigger than Sunderland game on Monday night again at Sheffield United. Take on Leeds United in the Championship, first against second. For this one, George, what are your thoughts and predictions for the next Monday night game of the season against Sheffield United?
I'd probably disagree with you in saying it's a bigger game than Sunderland. I think the Sunderland one was in the fact that it's creating a little bit more of a gap with the chasing.
It's massive. It's massive, George. It's a big one. We knew that these next three games were going to be big for us, and this one is probably bigger for me because it will give us a bit more of a gap. Hopefully Sheffield Wednesday might do us a favour on Friday, but I don't think they will. But I'd like them to. No. Come on, it is a big game. But go on.
It's a big game, but I feel like the Sunderland one was bigger because of the chasing pack. If we lose the game on Monday, we don't lose. Well, we could potentially lose ground with a chasing pack, but I think a draw at this point is fine. I feel like, will we play for a draw? No. I feel like potentially they might. I'm not impressed with Sheffield United in the slightest, actually, at all.
I watched them play. I watched them against Luton the other day. Absolutely, honest to God, really poor. Luton looked brilliant.
I think
they were lucky.
Yeah, and obviously Luton are probably going to go, aren't they? Because they drew again last night, and it's looking really bad for them, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think I think we'll beat them, and I just think we're the better team. I really don't see how. Again, it goes back. The quality of this division is so poor at this point, where Sheffield United have decent players and they can push teams around a little bit and beat them. I just don't think they're a good enough quality. Like you said, we've seen them when they come to Elland Road earlier on in the season. I know it was early in the season, but still, that they were going to be at the top of the league with us, even at that stage. And so I feel like we'll beat them. I don't think it'll be an open match. I think it'll be a game of one goal, maybe. I do think we'll beat them. And as well, we don't have to go for it as much as potentially they do. If they, and Chris Wilder, obviously ham sandwich face, he will be piling on the pressure in terms of he already has been. Leeds are the best team in the league and they should be, and all this, that, and the other. And I think they will. I think they are as well, and all this bollocks. And I just don't feel like Farke will buy into this mind games. He'll just go at it the same as he does and believe with a better team, which we definitely are. So why can't we just go there and win? It's only a big game if you think it in your mind. If you don't, it's just another game of football that we need to win. And that's, for me, like I said, the Sunderland game was the bigger of the two, in my opinion. I feel like if we drew that game, or if we lost that game, it's psychologically a real damaging blow. If we lose this one, I feel like we can just put it behind us, and we can then move forward. If we lost the Sunderland game, yeah, it's a bigger blow for me.
Okay. So for me, George, I think it is a big game. I think it's massive. It is for me because it will really put us a real good step now, because we've only got West Bromwich Albion to play after that, and then that is it in terms of the current top six opponents who we play. So I think it will give us a bit of a gap between building that gap now between third. I think is key. Hopefully we get a result. Hopefully with Burnley and Sheffield Wednesday at the weekend as well, because I think they play Friday. But I think it's going to be a tough one. I really do. I think it'll be a tough game. Sheffield United will want to go for the win. I don't think they can sit back, as you say. They have to go for it, and I think Leeds will like that. Yeah. And again, they were poor when we played them on, earlier in the season. I think Leeds can go. We've got to be full of confidence. What is it, 15 game unbeaten or something like what you said earlier? We cannot ever think, we can't go and do this, because I think we can, and I think we should be confident. I wish I was going. I think so I've been to Bramall Lane before as well. It's shit ground is awful. It's not very nice. It's not a good one. But I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 Leeds win. George, what's your prediction?
I think we're 1-0. I think it'll be a bit tight. It'll be a bit cagey, of course. I think they'll probably sit in and they'll try and catch us on the break, like pretty much every single team does it for Leeds. And you say they're going to have a go. I don't think they will. I think they'll try and win it off a set piece and stuff like this. I don't think they're going to go all out, because then they're smarter than that. I think Wilder is probably smarter than that. I think he'll set the team up kind of defensively and to nick the goal if they can. And I just think our quality will see us through, but I don't think we'll be far and away above them, because it's just naturally, I think the game is a higher game in their minds. Again, I think the players feel it, they know it. I was the same against Sunderland on Monday. You could see they felt the pressure almost of the game. And I feel they will feel like it's a big opportunity. And I kept saying it in the game, it's a big opportunity. You're passing, you're letting it pass you by. We're losing the game 1-0. It's a big opportunity missed if you're going to lose this match. So, need to put it in the back of their mind. Just play the game, play their football. We know we're better than them, really, although they are on top of the league with us. And if they didn't have that deduction, they'd be level with us. But, we are the better team, and they just need to relax, go out there, play the football, and enjoy it and win the game, really. And if you come away from there with 3 points, like I said, for me, we're nearly there. I don't think the West Brom game will be difficult, to be quite honest with you, because I don't think they're the best team. Now Corberan is gone, and I don't think they'll finish in the top 6 either. I think that's at Elland Road, it's a relatively straightforward game for me. If we get through this one, we're nearly there. And, I think come Monday, Arron, you'll feel the pressure. It's first against second, everybody will be hamming it up to the point where they're going to fucking burst. But, it's only because they want attention, but relative with the players, get on with it. It's just a normal day. It's a normal game. Just go there and win the game. And the scenes, if we win at the end, particularly if we win it like we did at Elland Road on Monday, will be tremendous. But just see the game through any way you can, and we'll all be celebrating come Monday evening again. It'll be another sleepless night potentially for many going into Tuesday.
Excellent. Brilliant. Good stuff. George, you want to give your Charles a couple of shout-outs before we wrap things up?
Yes, of course. And we're back before this. Talking Brazil ball with my brother James. We're continuing our previews for the new Brazilian season. We started this time. It'll be on tomorrow on now. Maybe I'll put it on. So it'll be up and running on YouTube and Spotify later on tonight. We're talking about Galo, which is my Brazilian side. We're talking about Bahia. We're talking about Botafogo and RB Bragantino, Red Bull Bragantino in this preview. What the first of 4 previews for the new season.
There you go,
so-
talking Brazil ball, and of course you've got the bearded peacock as
Yes,
well.
the bit of peacock as well. So we'll be building up to the game on Monday with a preview over the weekend, Aaron. I didn't do a review of the Sunderland game, but I will be previewing this one come sort of on the weekend. So yes, I'll be looking towards Sheffield United and seeing that on, and then like, subscribe if you want to, and like and subscribe on our Brazilian football main. And James is talking Brazil ball. Like I said, the season previews continue next week. We're looking at Ceará. We're looking at Corinthians, Cruzeiro, and Flamengo. But that's not till next week.
Oh wow, good stuff. Good stuff. And don't forget as well, if you like what we're doing, you can like and subscribe to Talking Leeds, where you see me and George every week with the pod, and you'll also get me and Jerry on the match reactions as well. Numbers are going well for us as well, as we talked about that earlier. But George, thank you very much. Let's hope that Leeds United can continue their next, get another 3 points on the road at Sheffield United and continue this amazing run of form they're in. And please, for God's sake, just get it done, Leeds. We'll see you next week. See you later, guys.
Marching on together. See you next week.
Ta-da.